Hello everyone, this is Team Nepal. I'm Chaitanya.
I'm Arjan Mani.
I'm Prajwal.
I'm Royal.
I'm Sagar.
And I'm Jia.
Starting with question number one. The following diagram shows the relation between costs represented in the y-axis with changing output levels as shown in x-axis. Most of the Asian countries that are part of OECD have a healthcare system industry that lies between monopolistic competition and oligopoly in the market spectrum, as barriers to entry are high, but as more firms enter and products are differentiated, it transforms into monopolistic. Hence, in the short run, production or provision of services will take place where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, as it is the profit maximizing or loss minimizing point. As the company is new, it will try to attract customers and hence will focus on promotion and advertisement. Also, the new firm may not be able to provide a diverse range of services initially, hence, it will try to specialize in things it is able to provide in order to maintain quality and keep operational expenses low. In the long run, however, it will focus on service differentiation in order to broaden its range of services and will also increase its investment in research and development to beat out its competition and better its product differentiation. It will, of course, require a lot of finance, and hence, equity finance might be possibly used to facilitate it. Next.
So, answer to question 2. As more and more companies are entering this industry, the product is slightly differentiated and this will result in a monopolistic competition. The cost revenue curve on the left applies the profit maximization rule, that is, marginal cost equals marginal revenue. And as a result, we can see two conditions. One where the line through output, which is generated after applying the profit maximization rule, is extended beyond the intersection of marginal cost and marginal revenue. And it intersects at average revenue, average total cost 1, and average total cost 2. Loss is incurred when the average total cost curve is above the average revenue curve, and profit is enjoyed when the average revenue curve is above or exceeds the average total cost. Cost revenue curve to the right demonstrates the long run position where it operates at normal profit, where the average revenue line is tangent to the average total cost and the price is deduced from the intersection of average revenue and average cost. In long run, all inputs are variable. The long run average cost curve is found by taking the lowest average total cost curve at each level of output. The long run average cost curve is flatter in shape. The firm will stay at the industry because it is enjoying accounting profit. That is the normal profit at a break-even condition where average cost equals average revenue. Next. Answer to question 3. The nursing home is a private good because free consumption can be prevented, that is excludability, and consumption of the good by one can affect the consumption of other, that is rivalry. Positive externality is caused by the government action because marginal social benefit exceeds marginal private benefit because of marginal external benefits. This results in underallocation of merit goods because goods that transmit positive externalities often underconsume, thus underallocated. The firm earns less or no profit. Private market does not consider external benefits, so it is often provided by the government. First solution to the externality is to change the behavior of the consumers by making the good more attractive and appealing in any way possible. Government can provide subsidies so as to distribute such goods in cheaper and affordable price. Provision of information related to its consumption benefits can be another solution. Next.
Today, across the world, there are 6.3 people of working age for every person over 65. The data of UN suggests that there will be only 5.5 to 1 by 2030, meaning that the dependency ratio is increasing. At the very moment, a large and constantly growing part of population requires ever greater resources for their care and well-being, while the working age population is shrinking. Why is this? Developed countries tend to have lower fertility rate due to lifestyle choices associated with economic affluences, where mortality rates are low, birth control is easily accessible, and children often become economic drain caused by housing, education costs, and other costs often involved in bringing up children. Higher education and professional careers often mean that women have children later in life. This creates a dual challenge of economic stagnation and there is need for more state spending on things like healthcare and pension. It creates a vicious cycle, resulting in demographic economic paradox, whereby as number of elderly increases, they require more care and resources, but this itself makes it harder for newer generation to have kids. If new measures or methods are not found, traditional healthcare is in no way prepared to handle increasing demand. Next.
Now, proceeding with solution 1A, voluntary awareness of good health practices. And we achieve this by 1. Redesigning daily routine which incorporates more physical activity and taking supplements if necessary. 2. Developing a positive social well being by building healthy, nurturing, and supportive relationships with people around us. 3. Being focused on healthy aging, which is developing and maintaining the functional ability that enables well being in older age. 4. Reducing the consumption of synthetic chemicals such as pesticides, insecticides, plastics, etc. 5. Consuming a balanced diet. And lastly, keeping the mind active by engaging in social activities and learning new skills to ensure the overall well being. Next.
Another solution to offset the government pressure to fund healthcare to the aging population is through employer matching contributions. Employer matching contributions provide incentives to alter employee behavior. We can understand the employee approach using budget constraints and indifference curves. As seen in the figure, without any employer matching contributions, the employer chooses the initial optimal consumption of D. However, the incentive alters the effects. The substitution effect increases the opportunity cost of consumption when young as they are forgiving tomorrow's greater consumption. The substitution effect causes the consumer, which is employee in our case, to move to point E along the same indifference curve I1. The income effect shifts the budget constraint outward and becomes steeper. The employee chooses the final optimum of F, which is at higher indifference curve I2. We find interesting observation that even when the consumption when young might increase or decrease based on individuals' indifference curves, we always find that consumption when old increases. Hence, employees will have more money with them when they retire so that they can afford quality healthcare services themselves without putting extra burden on the government. At the macro level, this small incentive will significantly increase national savings, shifting the supply of loanable funds to the right in the loanable funds market, bringing interest rates down. And when the interest rates are down, the investment becomes more attractive and causes aggregate demand curve to shift to the right, increasing overall economy. Next.
As we know that health sector is going to face overburden with increasing demand, it is very much necessary that innovation should be taken under the consideration. Introduction of Internet of Medical Things is one way which can aid productivity to the healthcare sector. It includes the medical devices, hardware infrastructures, and software applications used to connect healthcare information technology. Remote patient monitoring, typically known as RPM, and Apple Watches, which aware people about irregular heartbeats, are example of Internet of Medical Things. According to the survey done by Deloitte, the market of Internet of Medical Things is expected to grow from $41 billion in 2017 to $158 billion by 2022, indicating growth rate of 285%. The scope includes in home IOMT, on-body IOMT, community IOMT, and in-hospital IOMT. Government should emphasize on giving subsidy to such innovations as it creates incentives for producers. Another way which can reduce the burden in health sector is by introducing facilities of telehealth. In simpler words, telehealth refers to the process of getting connected to the healthcare provider through online mediums. The trend is seen rapidly growing in past few years. People are better off by telehealth services because they get comfort and convenience, which maximizes their utility. It is also a good way to overcome geographical barriers in the world of globalization. The global telehealth market size was valued at US dollar 83.5 billion in 2022 and is projected to expand at compound annual growth rate of 24% from 2023 to 2030. The aggressive compound annual growth rate of telehealth market suggests that it will result in reduced burden for conventional method of healthcare. There should be optimization in spending on healthcare services. Administrative spending should be minimized and more focus should be on delivery care, Here, the companies can build a frictionless financial transaction ecosystem that cuts the administrative spendings. So, our production possibility frontier is shown to show the enhanced productivity that comes from technological progress. The innovations in the field of Internet of Medical Things tend to bring efficiency in the economy. This reduces the pressure on human capital. The rightward shift in the PPC shows more amount of output can be produced with given resources with improvement in technology and the economy expands.
So, how government can solve the problem of public health? The first solution is tax negative externalities that expose elderly population. We know that negative externalities exist when the service have additional cost to the third party. Now there are factories, industries in the society that creates air pollutions, and the air pollutions can aggravate heart diseases, lung diseases, such as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and asthma, mainly focused on the elderly people, so that the government can tax on those industry which will reduce the production and increase the price as shown in the graph, and the decreased production will decrease the pollution's level also, and the tax collected can be utilized by the government to fund and strengthen the health care, which is our one of the first solution. Next. So another solution is changing traditional system to integrated healthcare. Health system need to shift from managing each disease or condition separately and taking more holistic and integrated approach focused on building and maintaining older people physical and mental capacity. The starting point for integrated health service is an assessment of the older person's goal and their capacity and their physical and social environment. This assessment involves health and social care professional together with the other person and their caregivers to develop a care plan where services are coordinated across different providers and delivered in the older person's home or as near as possible, ensuring universal access to the integrated care. Now it leads to your physical and mental health being addressed, being better collaboration between your health providers and less stress navigating the complicated healthcare system. In the figure, we can see the benefits of an integrated healthcare system, which are remote patient monitoring, management of chronic diseases, and easy data access. Next.
Solution B, economic theory externality. A positive externality occurs if the production and consumption of a good or service benefits a third party who is not directly involved in the market transaction. And as medical education provides benefits to a third party by increasing the health awareness of individuals and also by increasing the sanitation and awareness in society, medical education is said to create a positive externality. Now, looking at the diagram, the government reduces the marginal cost of supplying medical education by providing a value of subsidy from point P0 to P2, which will shift the supply curve to S2, shifting the price from P1 to P2, which will also increase the quantity from Q1 to Q2, allowing people to consume more at a lower price. Hence, the resulting output Q2 is a socially efficient output, as here the social marginal cost is equal to the social marginal benefit. Next. In conclusion, I would like to restate our three solutions and would also like to share some possible limitations of this solution, starting with the solution 1. When individuals participate in employee matching contribution, it reduces the government pressure to fund public healthcare services to the aging population. This solution is based on the economic theory of consumer choice. Moving on with solution 2. Companies should invest in new technologies that aids productivity. This solution is based on the economic theory production possibility curve. And solution 3, taxing negative externalities that expose the elderly population to disease and using the proceeds to fund and strengthen healthcare. And this solution is based on the economic theory internalizing the externality. In addition to the solutions, we also have analyzed some of the possible limitations of our solutions. The first one being the protocols and security standard for these type of integrations constantly changes, which can cause problems of compatibility. And secondly, standardization is hard to achieve in an integrated healthcare system with differences in system and format for storing data. Thank you so much.